Cool. All right, let's set up just on our hands and knees, wherever you've got some space. We're going to start with some cat-cow, so press the floor away, scoop the belly. Inhale to press, and exhale to scoop. Just feeling a stretch in whichever position you need, and you can start to twist side to side or just kind of move your spine around, whatever feels good to start off with. Maybe rock back and forth. Beautiful. And then as we do this, just notice where your pelvis is at and how it's moving as we move from one exaggerated position to the other. I want you to pay attention to that pelvis so that we can really focus on our pelvic tuck today. We're going to be doing a plank series. So our pelvic tuck is where our tailbone tucks under, almost like we're drawing our ribs down to our hips and our hips up to our ribs. And we're keeping everything nice and tense, and we don't have any excessive curves through the lower back or the upper back. So just kind of practice finding that tucked position where your core is tight, your pelvis is tight and stable, but you're not arching or curling your back. You can just kind of check on that with your hand to your lower back. Once you find that position, we'll just go into a bird dog. So stretch opposite arm to leg out in front of you and then back down. Keep that pelvis tucked, keep that pelvic floor switched on by drawing upwards. And then we're going to reach to the other side. So we're going to go really slow with this. Focus on building your stability as you go side to side. And shouldn't see your spine moving at all as you do this. So a lot of the time we tend to stick our leg up, and you can see my back has dipped quite a lot as opposed to keeping it nice straight line there. So just move side to side, really connect mind to muscle to those lower pelvic muscles, those abdomen muscles as we go side to side. Beautiful. 3, 2, and last one. Beautiful. From here, tuck your toes under, lift your tailbone to the sky into a nice downward dog, and just drop one heel at a time, stretching out the back of the legs. And then from here, we're going to press through the toes and think about curling through every vertebrae as we come back to a plank. And then we're going to push back up into that downward dog. Tippy toes, curl through every part of your spine to the plank and push back up. So just slowly moving through, feeling that big stretch through the spine. Keep moving. 2, and 1 more. Beautiful. Bring one of your knees in behind your wrist and just tuck that leg under. We're going to drive our back leg back into a little pigeon pose. And if you can fold forwards, then do so. And maybe just rock side to side, opening up our hip. Just getting everything nice and warm, moving well. Beautiful. And then step that foot back to a plank position. Take your other leg, tuck it underneath you, and lower down just as far as you can. And rocking side to side when you're ready. Opening up that hip. All right, and then kneeling for me, just grab your hands, clasp them together. We're going to do some wrist rolls. We're going to start today with a bit of a plank series into a mini arm series. So we're going to be loading our wrists a lot. My biggest tip with your wrists, and when we're loading our hands and wrists, like weight bearing on our hands, is to spread your hands as wide as you can and then press your fingertips into the floor. That's going to help spread the load through your whole hand rather than just if you were to just rest on your wrist. So think about that as we go through our plank series. If you ever need a little break on the wrist, just take it, give them a little wiggle around, a little stretch out. And if you need, you can drop to your elbows at any point. It'll just be a bit more challenging. So let's start off with, we're coming up into our plank position. Feet are hip width apart. I want you to focus on tucking your tailbone under like we spoke about in that very first warm-up. Bring your shoulders over your hands. And again, you can drop to your knees at any point if you need to lessen the load as well. So from here, draw the belly button in. We're going to bring one knee into the side, so aiming for your elbow. Bring it back out and tuck it in. Back out to the side, back to plank, and tuck it in. Breathing nice and slow through this. And tuck in. Again, you can drop to that knee on your other leg if you need to. Or drop to your elbows. Tucking in. And out. Keep it nice and controlled. Beautiful. Onto the other leg. So out to the side. And tucking in. You guys keep going out to the side, tuck in. My mat's not working for me today. Knee out to the side, tucking back in. Dropping to your knees if you need to. Beautiful. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Come down onto your knees. Give your wrists a little love if you need. Then we're going to set up on all fours. Create that nice flat spine, tucking the pelvis under. We're going to lengthen one leg directly out behind you. So we're not going up. Think about reducing that curve through the lower back. And then we're going to draw a half moon. So bring your leg across the other one. Draw a big half moon and then come out to the side. Half moon across your leg. And then out to the other side. Beautiful. Get my other mat so you can see some contrast between my black legs and black floor. Beautiful. So that straight leg coming across and out. Your goal here is to not allow your body to move at all. So we want our leg to be moving independently through our hip. Keep your whole leg pointed and active. Beautiful. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stop halfway in the air, pointing your toe. We're going to pulse up and down, nice and slow. Squeezing your butt as you do that. And again, paying attention to your pelvis and your lower back. Squeezing that booty, really point your toes, keep it nice and active. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Beautiful. And then bend your knee, point your heel up to the sky. We're going to bring our knee down and then straight back up. Again, keeping that lower back nice and flat. We don't want to that sort of word, make that range of motion any bigger. Think about stopping right when your knee gets in line with the hip. Squeezing that booty. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Straight onto the other side. Point that leg out, tuck the pelvis under, go across and then out without kicking any walls. Cross and out. Beautiful. Again, focusing on not allowing your body to move side to side. You're going to keep that pelvis tucked, that core engaged. Just the leg and hip working here. Press the floor away. Stay active through your arms, your whole body. Beautiful. Keep moving through that. Side to side. Keeping the hips steady. 3, 2, and 1. Point your toes directly behind you. Nice controlled pulses with that straight leg. Beautiful. Keep the pelvis tucked under. Straight leg pulse. Whole body nice and still. Bend the knee, flex the foot, and then we're bringing that knee down and pressing the heel straight up. Again, keeping that lower back nice and flat, pelvis tucked. Squeeze the booty, press your heel up. And it should feel restricted at a certain point, that it can't go any higher without that pelvis dipping in. Beautiful. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Come into a quick child's pose. Clasp your hands together. Make little wrist circles. Beautiful. All right. Coming back on to your hands and knees. We're going to do a little tricep series. So to set up, we are going to walk our knees back a little bit so that we're in kind of a half push-up position. Option 1 is straighten one leg out to make it a little bit more challenging, or you can keep both knees in. We will swap legs. Or option 2, if you can do tricep push-ups on your toes, then you can start on hands and toes. So option 1 is both knees, option 2 is one, option 3 is toes. So hands are directly below your shoulders. We're going to make sure that we're not pushing the mat away. So shift your shoulders over your hands, engage that core, and we're going to tuck our elbows in, bring our nose towards the mat, and then press straight back up. Tuck everything in, nose to the mat, and straight back through. Nose down. Nice and controlled. I want you to go down slow and then power push through. Slow and push through. Nice and controlled. If you're on a single knee and a straight leg, swap legs now to make it even through those hips. Beautiful. Lots of core work happening here, teams. Make sure you're switching it on, keeping the pelvis tucked under, nice and controlled. And press back through. Four, three, two, and one. Beautiful. Onto hands and knees again. This time our knees are nice and close to our hands. We're going to do tricep circles. So imagine we're drawing a circle inwards and then out with the top of our head, and then we come back in. So we're drawing that circle with our head. Our hands are nice and close to each other. The way we do that is we kick our elbows back, head comes back as well, and then we sweep through just as far as we can hold, and then bring yourself back, shoulders on top of hands. So elbows down, sweep through, and then come back through. So drawing that circle with the crown of the head. Jump in when you are ready. Really spread the hands nice and wide. Press through the fingertips, share the load through the wrist. Good, nice control. Three, two, and one. Beautiful, awesome. All right, come straight onto your stomach for the next one. Give our wrists a little bit of a break. So we're going to go into some Supermans. Bring your arms straight out in front of you, Supergirls, I should say. Thumbs straight up to the sky, palms facing each other. You're going to activate your legs, so keep your legs nice and tight, toes pointed. And always think about holding a peach underneath your chin, looking at your mat so that we're not looking straight ahead, bending through the neck like this. Then from here, we're going to engage the core, fully lift our chest and our legs as high as you can, and then lower down slowly. So raising up, thumbs to the sky, and lower down slowly. So jump in when you're ready. Keep your legs nice and active, chin tucked in. And we want to make sure we're not shrugging our shoulders too much. So pull your shoulders away from your ears. Big squeeze up, pause for a second, and then slow on the way down. Reset those shoulders every time if you need them. Keep your eyes on your mat or the floor. Good stuff. Big squeeze. Squeeze the booty, the back. Squeeze it all. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. From here, keep your feet planted. We're going to lift our chest off the floor, and then we're going to do around the world with our arms. So we're going to start with our thumbs up, open out, palms stay down, and then we're going to rotate our palms so our hands are facing up, back of the hands are on the small of the back. So opening up, palms are up, and then we rotate down to come back to the front. So we're doing a big circle, ending with our palms up at our lower back, and then ending with them down at the front. So just join into those rotations when you're ready, keeping the chest off the floor the whole way through, really focusing on our shoulder blades here. So think about your shoulders pulling away from your ears. Should definitely feel it heating up shortly if you don't already. Big squeeze through the upper back. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, beautiful. Have a little rest. Back into a child's pose if you would like. Grab some water. Only a little bit though. We're going to go back to the very top, so our plank series, starting with our knee tucks. So setting up on hands and toes, or hands and knees. Hands and one knee, I should say. Shoulders are directly over hands. Tuck that pelvis under. Then we're bringing our knee out to the side and then tucking in. Just one side for now. Remembering you can drop your knee down if you need a little bit of extra support. Otherwise, we are staying nice and controlled through the body. Beautiful. Spread those fingers. Squeeze your fingertips. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Quick little wrist circles onto the other side when you're ready. Tucking it out to the side and in the middle. Breathe through it. Push through the burn in the arms. Press the floor away and drop that other knee if you need to. Beautiful. Go between one knee down and both legs up. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right. Setting up on hands and knees. Stretch one leg out. Tuck that pelvis under. And then we're pointing our toe, keeping our leg nice and active. Crossing it over the back leg. And then coming back through out to the side. Press the floor away. Stay active through your arms. Squeeze the fingertips. Keep your hips nice and steady. Shouldn't feel the body moving too much as we do this. Stay active and tight through the leg. Bring that leg out nice and straight, and we're doing those pulses. Again, paying extra attention to your pelvis, tucking under. Keep that foot pointed nice and tight. Squeeze the booty. Keeping our back nice and flat. Flex your heel, bend your knee. We're bringing that knee in and straight up. Good stuff. Feel the burn. You'll probably feel it in the opposite leg, the one that's not moving, which is good. Press that heel up to the sky. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Quick little wrist circles if needed. And then we're going straight onto the other side with that straight leg crossover, toe pointed, crossing over, and then out to the side. Keeping the hips steady, belly button in. Taking a little wrist breather whenever you need, but jumping straight back in when you're ready. Beautiful. Stay nice and tight, active through the leg, the arms, the spine. And then straighten that leg out in front of you. Pulses, really focusing on the booty and not the lower back. So it's the booty that's lifting that leg. Keep the toes pointed. Big squeeze, nice control. Awesome. Flex the heel, bend the knee, tuck that knee in and drive it straight up. Again, keeping that pelvis tucked, back flat. Press the floor away. Push the heel up, squeeze the booty. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Into child's pose. Clasp the hands and draw little circles. All right, back to our arm sequence. So hands directly below your shoulders. Setting up on hands and knees, and then walk the knees back just a little bit, keeping the shoulders over hands. Either on your knees, one straight leg, one knee, or both toes, going into our tricep push-up. So elbows tuck in, coming nice and low, and then press yourself back up. Trying to get that nose to the mat. Don't worry if you don't get there, that's just the intention. Keeping everything in line. Shoulders over hands, elbows tuck in, keeping that core nice and tight. Good stuff. Your elbows will want to kick outwards, so just focus on keeping them close. If you're on one knee, one leg, swap sides. Focus on your breath and your control. Three, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring those knees in nice and close. Just give your wrists a little break if they need it. All right, so knees are closer to our hands. We're going into tricep circles. Tucking the elbows in, drawing that circle with the crown of the head, shifting forwards and then coming back. So you really control how much tension you're putting on those arms. You get to choose how far forward you go. Keeping that tension in the arms. elbows tucked in, scooping nice and close to the floor. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, lowering down onto your bellies. We're going to set up for Supergirl. So arms out in front, thumbs facing the sky, so palms in. Keep that peach under your chin, tuck it under, and then raising that body up, squeezing the booty, squeezing the whole back. Keep your legs as active as possible. Point those toes, raising up, and then slow on the way down. Squeeze nice and tight as you come up. Control on the way down. Try and inhale as you come up, exhale as you come down, and it'll be less uncomfortable on your stomach. Shoulders away from the ears, keep rising. Use your chest. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Into those around the world. So palms down, rotating halfway, palms up to the lower back. Rotate halfway, palms down. Keep that chest off the floor, chin tucked. Staying active through your back, feeling the shoulder blades move around. Beautiful. If you need a little rest each rep, you can bring your head back to the mat. Or if you want the challenge, just keep the chest up the whole way through. Chin tucked, eyes down, squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. Nice team. Sit back into a child's pose. Bring your arms over to one side. Feel that big side body stretch. And then over to the other side. And then roll over onto your back for me. You're going to finish off with a nice little ab series. So lying on your back, we are going to come up into a tabletop position. So for that, you're going to tuck your pelvis under, get your back nice and flat, and then bringing our knees up on top of our hips and our shins parallel to the roof. If at any time you feel loading through your lower back that you can't control or it's painful, just bring your feet flat. You can do all movements from this position here. So either feet flat or tabletop. From here, we're going to bring our hands behind our head. Think about lifting your sternum up so that the shoulders come off the floor, and then sweep your arms without punching the wall towards your toes. Bring them back to your head and then lower it down. Pelvis tucked, lift up through the shoulders, reach, come back to your head and lower down. Keep that pelvis tucked the whole way. Crunch up, sweep, in and down. Moving through, making sure we're keeping our back nice and flat on the floor, keeping that pelvis tucked under and our ribs pressed down. Good, crunch, Beautiful, sweet. 3, 2, and 1. This time I'm going to hold here, reaching, tuck your chin in. We're going to pulse our arms, and our goal is to keep our core tight, not moving. Keep your ribs pressing towards your hips. Pulse those arms. Keep everything nice and tight. Beautiful. And pause here. Then we're going to extend one leg and then the other. Keep that chin tucked. If you need a little bit of neck support, bring one hand to it, but keep your shoulders off the floor. The lower your leg goes down, the more challenging it's going to be, so you can determine that. Nice and slow. 3, 2, and 1. Keep your knees together, lower your shoulders and head down. And for this next one, you can bring your hands underneath your booty or just keep them by your side. We are going to tuck our knees in nice and close. Keep your legs together. We're going to twist to one side, lengthen our legs out, in. Twist to the other side, out, in. Twist, and again, the lower you go, the harder it's going to be. So you can kind of judge the difficulty level here. Just make sure we're rotating side to side, keeping that little twist in our hips as we extend our legs out and back in. Beautiful. Rotate, lengthen. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Hug those knees in nice and close. Rock side to side. Take your knees wide if you like, whatever feels good. And then we're going to set up again in tabletop. So tuck your hips under, ribs down, either keeping your feet flat or knees on top of hips. Hands behind your head, we're going straight back into our sweep. Head and down. So shoulders off the floor, reach for the toes and back down. If you need to do this with your feet planted, just looks the same. And feet are flat instead. Try and exhale as you reach forward. Inhale as you come down. Beautiful. Keep lifting through that sternum. 3, 2, and 1. Holding here. Pulse through those arms. Keep ribs to hips nice and tight. Good. Should really be feeling it through the core in this one. Keep your chin tucked. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we're into leg extensions. Again, use one hand to support your neck if you need to. If your feet are flat, you're still doing your leg extension, just lifting that leg off the floor and coming back in. Beautiful. If your hands are behind your head, just make sure you're not resting. You are still curling through ribs to hips. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hands underneath your booty or next to it. Tuck those knees in nice and close, shins and feet together. Twist to the side, lengthen out and in. Twist, out and in. Beautiful. Lower you go, the harder it's going to be. So if you need to lessen the load, just go closer to the roof. Beautiful. Good control, team. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. All right, hug those knees into your chest. Rock side to side. And then we're going to take your knees all the way over to one side, arms by your side. Get that nice spinal stretch. Keeping your shoulders flat on the floor. And then come through the middle, over to the other side. Good stretch. Beautiful. Hug one knee in, stretch the other one out. Really pull that knee nice and close.
Thanks, Dee. I've got to shoot off.
All good. Thanks, babe.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Catch you next time. Just rotate through those hips. And then you can even grab onto your ankle and kind of rotate that a little bit closer to you. Get a really deep hip stretch. All right, swap sides, hug that other leg in nice and close. Draw little circles, go side to side, whatever feels good for that hip socket. And then if you want to grab your ankle and just kind of pull it closer to your chest, rotating that leg. Oh, all right. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, team. That was a fabulous session. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will catch you next time.
Thanks, Dave.